Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragonball. Now today I'm doing my weekly Q&A, so let's get right into this video. What's your favorite saying? Well, I can't really say my intro, really, because I don't say outside of YouTube. But my favorite saying, there's a lot of them that I would say. I can't, like, there's so many things that I say on a regular basis. But one thing I always go back to and joke with my friends on is I look back at the fight between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, where Mike Tyson obviously evidently bit off part of Holyfield's ear. This is what the ref did about that. First of all, he did the timeout thing. And then he says, I'm deducting 2 points. He bit his ear. I'm like, okay, that's all you're doing? You're gonna deduct 2 points? Alright, well, this is gonna become an inside joke, so 2 points deduction. I don't know, but the fact of the matter is he deducted 2 points just because he bit off his ear. You would think that there would be more consequences than 2-point reductions in a round, or overall 2 points. That's not, yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, next question. Who do you think age faster in terms of appearance, males or females? I think that females actually, I think it's more noticeable when they age. That's just my opinion. Maybe it's because girls generally use makeup, and you know, when they're a lot older and they don't have makeup on, they just look older. It's more of a jarring difference, if that makes sense. There's gonna be some women that hate me after this, I'm sure. Next question. Kibito Kai versus Kid Buu. I don't even think this is really close. It's obviously Kid Buu. Now, I will say that Kibito is implied. Kibito Kai, which for those of you who aren't confused, because I've made this confusion myself once, Kibito Kai is not Kibito, the pink, attendant to the Supreme Kai. Kibito Kai is actually the fusion between Kibito and the Supreme Kai. Just to clarify for those of you who don't remember that little detail, because I myself have forgotten it a while ago. But it is implied actually that Kibito Kai could have beaten Fat Buu, because Kibito was so confident that he could have defeated Buu when he used the earring. So I would think that he'd at least be able to beat Fat Buu. Because the other Kai then, after he was confident he could beat him, the other Kai said that he couldn't beat Buu in the form he's in right now, which was the Super Buu form. So I still don't think he'd beat Kid Buu, otherwise he would have helped in the fight. Then again, if he was more powerful than Fat Buu, he probably should have helped in the fight still. Maybe it wasn't worth the risk, who knows. Is it possible for Goku to do the Final Flash and Vegito to do the Spirit Bomb? Well, if they learn them, then yeah, sure. I don't see why not. Thoughts on Tyler Oakley? Don't really care for him. I just don't really find him that funny. He's kind of one of those just annoying, high-pitched YouTubers. It's not really my thing, and before, obviously it's a touchy subject, but before anyone even tries to comment this, I don't really care that he's gay. I never really care if anyone's really gay. I don't care what you do with your life, as long as you don't, I've always said this before in my Q&As, as long as what you do in life doesn't affect others in a negative way, I don't really care. Like, I really don't care if you're gay. I have no problems with it. I knew gay people when I was in high school. So yeah, I really don't care. He's just not a very funny person in my mind. He's just kind of annoying and high-pitched. Just not my type of person to watch, I suppose. During the Android saga, when Piccolo was fighting 17 and Cell came, why didn't the androids Piccolo Tien just jump Cell? Okay, so during the Android saga, Piccolo was fighting 17, why didn't the android Cell? Why didn't they? Well, I guess you could answer a lot of the reasons why any of the Z fighters would never just jump people at once just because of writing. We don't really see this happen in Dragon Ball, but I mean, if they all joined together, considering how weakened Piccolo was at that point, I don't think him and Tien would have made much of a difference. Maybe Tien's Tri-Beam. Even 17 couldn't do much, so, that's just what I think. Do you know who King Nappy is? Or the King Nappy? No, not at all. Yamcha versus King Piccolo. Well, you have to be specific of which Yamcha. Even Yamcha at the very beginning of Z, when they read his power level, it was a 190, I think it was, or 187. I don't remember exactly what. Even that Yamcha couldn't beat King Piccolo, so, in my opinion at least. Even though they're not official, I believe it was either the V jump or the Daizenshuu, whichever. I think they listed Kid Goku as a 250 and King Piccolo's like a 240. So, you know, I just couldn't see Yamcha beating him at that point. Could Cell rip your head off? Well, yeah, he could. Let's see why not. Do you think we will see future Trunks in Dragon Ball Super? Not even a fat chance. Like, why? I don't see any reason why he would need to come back. His timeline wouldn't have these events occur for him to come back, so I don't see what the problem would be. Best swordsman in DBZ? Well, it's not even close. I think Trunks. And then Deborah, I can assume Deborah would be next just because of his status as a Demon King and how powerful he is. But definitely Trunks. I don't really think it's much of a contest, really. And you know what? I'm gonna say Vegito because of the Spirit Sword. Yeah, Vegito is the best. What if Boo absorbed Broly? How strong would he become? Would he be stronger than Buhan? No, I don't see why he would be, because Broly's way weaker than Gohan was. So, you know, Mystic Gohan's a lot stronger than Broly. And for those of you who want to say that Broly's energy is infinitely rising, no, it's not. Mike from Laughing Stock Media and I have talked about this, and actually he did a video on this. Broly's energy does not rise infinitely. It rises to a certain level and then just caps off and it overflows. That's why when he says, "My power is rising, overflowing," and my voice cracked, but it's early in the day. But when he says that, guys, he was completely exhausted, and then you see his power get overflowed and he has to shoot out his energy just to keep moving. It doesn't keep going forever, and there's no real argument to say it keeps going forever because there's no evidence to support it. He never says it keeps rising infinitely. He says it's rising and it's overflowing. If you overflow a cup of water, does it keep going up or does it just spill out? Thank you. Next question. What if Broly went to Earth with Goku when they were babies and they were both raised by Grandpa Gohan? How would that change the Dragon Ball universe? I don't know. It'd change a lot. I mean, that's so ambiguous to even comprehend. But, I mean, Broly probably would have killed both of them based on his actions, so... Will Goku ever meet his real Saiyan family? Nope, he won't. What is the stronger anime out of the four? Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach? Also, would this make a good topic? Not really, because I don't care about any of these three. I hate Bleach. I don't really like Naruto. One Piece is alright. I actually enjoyed some of it. So no, it wouldn't make a good topic because it'd be completely one-sided to Dragon Ball Z. Now, what do I think are more well-made series? I think that One Piece definitely will be a more well-made series from what I've seen of it. It has less problems than Dragon Ball does. But the thing is, it's an entertainment property and yeah, to an extent nostalgia. I just prefer Dragon Ball Z in extreme. It's just a more interesting series and a more entertaining series for me, if that makes sense. Okay. Do you think Champa in Dragon Ball Super is a former god of destruction? It's definitely a high possibility, but it's impossible to speculate at this point because we know literally nothing about him. Jalal Fernandez versus Tao Pai Pai. Who wins and why? Well, as I said before, even though doesn't make a lot of, I don't know. I don't know who Jalal is. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I don't know who he is. So, you know, I don't really know. I have no idea who that is. Why do you give false and misleading information? Well, I don't, so I don't know what you're trying to say there. I don't think I do. If I ever have, what do you mean in terms of news discussions? Because I don't think I really give any false news, so I don't really know what the hell you're talking about, to be honest. Just being quite frank, I really just don't know. If I ever give false information or something that's not exactly correct, then I will correct myself. But at this moment, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So thanks for the question. Vegeta, maybe that question was meant to go to Unreal Entertainment Gaming or Soul Animation, maybe not me, because I'm not one of those guys. But anyways, moving on. Vegeta Super Saiyan 2, Battle of Gods versus Fat Boo. It would be hard for me to believe that Vegeta would still be able to beat Fat Boo, but it is in the realm of possibility, so I'd give Vegeta the edge. I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, Raging of Vegeta is obviously a different story, but I'll just give Vegeta the benefit of the doubt and say he could beat Fat Boo. Even though it's kind of unlikely, but I will give him, as I said, the benefit of the doubt here. Base Gotenks versus Mastered SSJ Goku Cell Saga games. It's not even close. Gotenks would mop the floor with them. Gotenks is actually implied to be a little bit stronger, if not equal to Majin Vegeta in his base, so it's not even a close fight. Base Baby Vegeta versus SSJ Vegito. Base Baby Vegeta. So I guess you mean the one as soon as he transformed, I would say Vegito. Bootanks versus Metal Rildo. From my memory of the Rildo fight, I actually would probably say Rildo would have a slight edge, but if it was Buhan, I would give it to Buhan. Based off my memory. Okay. Which episode of Dragon Ball Z was the point for you, was on point for you? Like, name an episode where you said to yourself, wow, the animation in this episode is fucking epic. Cell Saga, Majin Buu Saga. The Goku vs. Cell fight has a lot of problems with animation. Even though it's one of my favorite fights in the whole series. Has a lot of problems in terms of animation. Now, when you're talking about good animation, I always really liked... excuse me, I'm very tired. I always really liked the animation in the Goku versus Vegeta fight from the Buu Saga. That was always a great one. One that I always have enjoyed, though, as one of the most spectacular moments in the series was Vegito versus Super Buu, so I'd probably say that. Do you ever wonder what did Gogeta do in the rest of his minutes? I mean, he had about 27 minutes left, right? Yes, he did, and I have actually wondered about this very briefly, but I mean, it's impossible to say. Maybe he wanted to see if he had like 2 dicks or something like that. I don't know. But wouldn't make sense because when you fuse, you become an entirely new being. So I guess 2 of those wouldn't really make sense. But anyways, moving on to the next question before things get too weird. Super Vegito versus Super Saiyan God Goku. SSJ2 Vegeta versus SSJSS Goku. I mean, it's hard to say. It really is because Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan doesn't seem much stronger at all than Super Saiyan God. So, I mean, it's really hard to say. And I've kind of already touched upon this before. There really is no evidence to support either side, regardless of what people may say. There is no concrete evidence. Yes, Goku's comment on fusion. He says he doesn't think it. He says it doesn't. He doesn't know if it'll work or not. Okay, we don't know what version of fusion he's talking about, and we don't even know if he's including Super Saiyan 2 and 3, especially 3. And also, just because Goku said fusion wouldn't work, does not mean that it's weaker than Super Saiyan God, because Super Saiyan God did not work either, in a way. So, it's a hard one to say. I'd say the most realistic one would probably be Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, but I would like to think that Super Saiyan 2 Vegito should be at that level of strength or around that realm at least, if that makes sense. Do you watch any other anime besides Dragon Ball Super currently? Well, I don't even really watch Dragon Ball Super that much, but if you mean Z, I don't really have a lot of time right now to watch a lot of animes. I try when I can. I've touched upon Attack on Titan. It's okay. But I really have been having a really hard time finding free time between work and making videos and hanging out with friends, so I haven't really had a chance to catch much else. Hey bro, sorry I had to ask, but the last episode of Dragon Ball Super Episode 5, that animation, mainly the fight, I know Dragon Ball Z wasn't perfect in animation, but why is that newer anime, like Food Wars animation, look so much better? Check out a video from, well, I already did a video about this, but if you check out a video from Geekdom 101, I'll actually annotate it at the end of this video. Give them a little shout out there, as well as leave it in the description. But it's a video discussing why exactly the animation is like that in the episode, if you guys are really curious about that. SSJ3 Goku Buu Saga versus Legic. Legic, because didn't Goku have to go, he had to go at least Super Saiyan to beat Legic, so, in GT, so, and the GT base Goku is about as strong as Super Saiyan 3 from Z, so I don't see Z Goku winning, especially due to the stamina drain of Super Saiyan 3. SSJ Future Gohan manga versus full powered Frieza. I would still say Gohan, but I think Gohan, people like to compare him to post Yardrat Goku, which I don't even think he's close to him in power. But if Super Saiyan Goku on Namek, or if Frieza's up, you know what? I probably would put Future Gohan about the same as Goku on Namek. That's just my opinion. But yeah. SSJ Goku Healthy Android Saga versus Future 17. I would still say 17 because we don't know how much weaker the future androids actually are. It's implied, you know, Trunks says that the present time ones are stronger, but we don't know by how much. But I would still say that 17 could probably beat Goku Healthy, I would definitely think. SSJ Vegeta Android Saga versus SSJ Trunks Buu Saga. Now, before all the training, I would definitely say Vegeta would win. After training, I think Trunks might have the edge, but very slightly. It's very hard to say. Base Goku, End of Z versus Perfect Cell. End of Z when he fought Oob, I would say Goku. And this is going to be a base Goku, and I'm not even including Battle of Gods here and, you know, the movies, but if you even want to go as far as to say them, he's obviously got his God Ki running through his body. So he's going to be very powerful. Base Goku Buu Saga versus Imperfect Cell. I would still give that one to Imperfect Cell, even though it sounds weird, but I would still give that one to Cell. Videl versus Raditz. Oh my god, it's not even close. Raditz. Fairy Tail don't have many martial artists like Baku's, for example. Goku is a martial artist, but Natsu is a brawler. Using his punch plus magic at full power at a time. Guild Arts 2 isn't a martial arts, but some kind of boxer. I ain't sure. In a hand-to-hand fight between Tao and a Fairy Tail character, how'd it go? I don't know. I don't watch Fairy Tail, so I mean, I've actually said this a lot. I don't watch the show. I don't really like it that much. So these kind of questions I can't even comment on. These next three, and these two are just the same thing. I'm sorry, I just don't know anything about Fairy Tail, and just wouldn't be too proper of me to even try to compare this. Do you think Champa in Dragon Ball Super is a form of destruction? I already answered this. I'm happy for Quaman and Piccolo. I really am. I'm positive it's only a matter of time before Quaman starts cheating on Piccolo with Dende. How do you think the relationship will turn out? There will be a special beam cannon involved. That's definitely to be to say. I think this is gonna be the final question. Actually, you know what? There's one after this that I'm actually gonna do this one first. SSJ4 Gogeta versus Asura with that power up I can't remember the name of. I believe it's just his destructor form. And a very long time ago, I actually did a Asura versus Goku battle. And I'm going to redo it because, to be quite frank, even though I don't think it was a bad video for starting off, I can do better. So I'm going to redo that video, actually. But Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, spoiler alert here, guys, I don't think he would really stand a chance against Asura's full power. Funny enough, one of the things that pisses me off the most, people say, you guys are wrong, Asura would win. First of all, we said Asura would beat Goku. This is going to be a spoiler for everyone that hasn't seen the video and probably is, you know, now gonna know exactly how the next battle goes. But hopefully you guys still watch it because it's gonna be a great video. I'm gonna try my best to make it one of my best videos. But Goku would not have a chance against Asura. Asura blows up these celestial objects like nothing, and he blows up these cosmic, like, wormhole kind of things almost. It's just like these cosmic objects, and he's lifting people that are thousands of times, like hundreds of times larger than the earth. He's just like grabbing their fists and not even letting them punch them, and that's just an impressive feat in itself. And I just don't think that, and that's not even a powered up Asura, that's like a base Asura doing something like that. So I just don't see how Gogeta could beat him. But people say that, oh, you guys are wrong, Goku would lose against Asura. Like, we said that he would lose. We said without his power-ups, maybe Super Saiyan 3 Goku could beat him. Or Super Saiyan 4. That's all we really said, so. Alright, how did you meet, this is going to be the last question, how did you meet Kwame and Rhymestyle? Well, it's a funny story because back when I was a small-ass YouTuber at, like, you know, 200 or well, actually less than 100 subs I had. I was going on Anime Multiverse, which is an awesome social networking site. And I posted a video, a channel update on there, and it got featured. You know, Rhymestyle featured the video on the site, so I got over 100. I bumped up to over 100 subs, and that was awesome. And then it was kind of like a couple messages back and forth between me and him, just talking about some of the things on the site. And then eventually I was made a moderator on the site, which basically kind of makes me police it and stuff. And after that, you know, there was a couple more months of that, and when I was around 550 subscribers, I think about, he hit me up on Twitter and had me add him on Skype. A couple days later, I believe it was him, Kwame, Thundershot, I want to say Afro Senju was there too. He didn't say much, but he was there. And I had Dr. Love with me as well. We all got together and discussed things, and that kind of snowballed into everything that is now. You know, they gave me a couple awesome subscriber bumps, which was great help. You know, put me over 1,000 subs in a day. Awesome stuff. And then, you know, and I do plan on doing more stuff with Rhymestyle. It's just I've really been caught up with work. I mean, if you guys noticed, I really haven't even done anything with Kwame. I talked to Kwame pretty much every single night, but I haven't really done a video with him in a while. And it's not because I don't like these guys. It's not like, you know, I have no interest in them. It's not that at all. I think it's just because our time schedules can be off at times. I do plan on doing videos with those guys again, obviously. But yeah, it's awesome. You know, the whole thing snowballed, and now look at me now. I mean, I haven't done much with them, like I said, recently. But I have over 18,000 subs now, which is fucking incredible. And honestly, to be quite honest, if I never met Kwame or Rhymestyle, then I probably would still be sitting at around 1,500 to 2,000 subs in my honest opinion. So it definitely was amazing that I could meet those guys. I really am grateful, and they're awesome dudes. But other than that, guys, that's been the Q&A for today. I know that there was a little technical difficulties. Did I even mention it? I don't even think I mentioned the technical difficulties I had earlier. I'm so unprofessional. So before there was a question relating to, what is it, Jalel or something like that, being hiring talent. I'm like, I don't know who the hell Jalel is, but I think yeah, that's the point where I think my OBS kind of cut off, so it froze. So you guys didn't see that part, but other than that, I'm so random, Jesus Christ. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this Q&A. I'd like to thank you all for watching this, and I'll catch you later.